Hello, this is Preach with TGN.TV and we are YouTube. Are you trying to join a raiding guild? What's up guys and girls? If you're about to join a raiding guild, there's a lot of things that can be very stressful for you. A lot of pressure on you to make sure you get it right, because you're going to be thinking to yourself, what if I don't get in? What if I do something wrong? These are my tips to help you get through that. Firstly, you want to make sure you choose the right guild for you. Choosing the wrong guild is the first step to failure. You don't want to do that, okay? Choosing a guild that's far too advanced for your level of play or way below your play is going to result in you being unhappy and wanting to leave guilds again. And leaving guilds all the time can actually cause you to have a negative impact in the future. Remember, it's very easy for guilds to track where you've moved from. WoW progress and things like that will follow your movements, and a decent guild will be checking those things. So you need to be taking your time. You need to make sure you pick the right guild for you. Take a lot of time, guys. Take a couple of weeks. Choose out the guild for you. Think to yourself, what is the kind of progression I'm looking for? If you've recently come to the game, you're not likely to be joining the likes of Blood Legion, Vodka, Paragon, Method. You're not likely to be doing it, guys, so don't expect to do it. Plus, you're unlikely to be ready for the kind of commitment they want from you, okay? So take your time. Are you looking for some normal progression? Are you looking for some early heroics and some steady progression? How often can you raid every week? Can you only raid 1 or 2 days? Well, it's no good joining a guild that expects at least 4 or 5 days out of you, because you're just going to fail your trial. Then you're going to be back at square one. Don't want that at all. What you want to do to be a total baller is be clever about what you do. Take your time. I started in one of the very low guilds, farming early Molten Core and Onyxia just as it came out, and it took me a couple of years before I worked myself up to one of the endgame guilds in the world, chasing those world firsts, okay? It took me a very long time to get there, and that was my strategy. You've got to think about what you're doing. Jumping into something you're not ready for will only result in failure, guys. This is the last tier of raiding we're going to have before the next expansion. So choose what's right for you. It doesn't matter, if you're thinking to yourself, I've just joined the game, I think I'm pretty good, but I'm going to join now an endgame heroic raiding guild. Guys, don't do that. You're going to spoil the game for yourself, okay? You're going to absolutely ruin it. Don't do that. First things first, take your time, pick the guild that's right for you. Write down on a list, get a piece of paper, how many days can I realistically raid? Is it 2, 3, 4? Has college finished now for the next couple of months or etc.? Can you raid a little bit more? Okay, I can. My guild that I'm currently in does not provide for this. I'm now ready to rock and roll and get onto a better and more advanced guild, okay? That's step 1. Step 2, joining a raiding guild, is again taking your time. This is a common theme, guys. Do not rush into joining a guild. Check your character out. Do you have everything you can possibly get that you can require before joining the guild you want to apply to, okay? Is there a quest item, a very small quest chain, like Thrall's quest chain in Hyjal, that results in a very nice cape that you could do in a matter of 20 minutes that could improve your gear? If that's the case, go and do it before you apply, because remember, the first thing that ever happens when you join a raiding guild is somebody's going to click that armory. And if they click that armory and they're not happy with what they see, you're in a whole world of shitballers, and you don't want to be doing that. Because as soon as someone turns around and says to you, dude, why have you not got everything from the new 5-mans? They drop 378 light level gear. Why have you not gone and done that? You don't even appear to have done the looking for raid, even in a pub, just to get an idea of what the bosses are all about. Why have you not done that, okay? And if you haven't got a good solid answer, and quite frankly, if you've not done those things, that is not a good enough answer. You're going to get denied. You don't want to do that. You want to look like you put every effort into making sure your gear is ready to rock and roll, because gear is vastly important to the raiders. You need to be aware of that, okay? As soon as they click your armory and see that you haven't done everything you can do to maximise your gear, they're going to say no. Okay, they're just going to say, look dude, you're not even bothering to do a quest, okay? Go away, sort it out, not good enough. This goes for gemming and enchanting as well. If you are of the ethos, because you've been following some early guides that I've got some crap gear, I don't need to be putting the best enchants in and the best gems, you need to scrap that for your application. You need to spend some gold. You need to get those dollars and go and spend some big gold and sorting your character out, okay? You need to go through it step by step, either by following one of my guides from my channels or one of the guys on the TGN MMO channel. Go ahead and check those out, okay? You need to be making sure that your character's tip-top. This goes for talents as well. If you've got the wrong spec, instantly someone's going to pick up on that, okay? They're going to say, dude, you got the wrong spec for the job. What are you going to do about it? And your answer is, well, I thought it was a decent spec. It's not a decent spec, mate. This is not the best spec for the patch. New patch has just landed. There's a ton of guides on YouTube. There's a ton of guides on places like Elite's Jerks. Go and check it out. Before anybody looks at your armory, you look at your armory. Choose the advanced option on the WoW armory. Well, how are your tinkers looking, your dual crafting and all that good stuff? Make sure you've got it absolutely correct, so as soon as people click it, they can check it and say, specs right, stats are right, he's got his hit rating sorted, he's got his spell power prioritised, he's got his haste sorted, he's got his mastery done and dusted. We like the look of this guy. And then somebody will just reply saying, gear looks okay, guy looks good to go. We like that. That's a 2 thumbs up. That's 1 thumb and 2 thumbs ready for you. Third step is filling out your application. This could be an even more difficult process. Some people in your mindset might be thinking, why is this application so huge? Especially if a guild's got a decent template. I'm going to link a template for you down below. And you should need to go check that out, okay? The template is something that guild wants to know about you, okay? It's very, very important that you do it. You need to jazz that shit up, ballers. You need to make it look cool, because nobody wants to lead a huge wall of text. Although their template might be massive, you need to make sure that you make it as interesting as possible. Throw in some colours, throw in some screenshots. Down below I've linked a template I filled out for my guild when I stopped raiding end level and moved to a more casual guild as their guild leader. I filled out an application on their behalf to show exactly how I think it should be done. Go and check it out. It's full of pictures, use different colours, all that kind of stuff. It takes 2 seconds to highlight some text and change the font on it, and it makes it so much easier to read. Have their question in nice clear letters and then your answer just below it. Really nice and stylish. And remember, take time on your application. All 3 of these steps are about taking your time. It's no good saying, right, I'm going to join a raiding guild. Where's the guild? That's a good guild. What's their template? Filled it out. No good, ballers. You can't do that. And especially the answer that's most commonly going to cause problems for you in a guild is, I couldn't do this because I was at work when I filled out the application. Don't do that. Do not do that. Wait till you're ready to go, come home, write it out at work if necessary in a Word document or notepad or however you want to do it. Get all your links, get your armory links, get your picture links, all that good stuff. And remember, if someone says to you upload your UI, make sure you do it in a raid setting, okay? Go into Alterac Valley if you have to, it's got a raid setting. Show them what your raid is and be in combat at the time. They want to see how are you managing your cooldowns, how are you watching what spells are on the mobs, all that good stuff. It's very important. As a raiding guild, I can instantly tell if someone's good enough or not good enough from their UI. If their UI is garbage, I know they're not up to snuff. They're just not going to be up to the challenges we want to put forward to them. So you need to make sure you do that and put it in combat. Really, it's so easy. It takes 20 minutes max to get into an Alterac Valley. Go and attack somebody in the middle of the field of strife, anything like that, and then just take a screenshot of it. Take a few which one looks best. If there's something going on in the background, remember, if your UI looks nice and it's ready to rock and roll, people are going to look at what situation you were in. I've seen people pick up a screenshot from an applicant and instantly comment on the amount of gold they had or anything like that. Put it in a decent screenshot. Take a few. Enjoy your AP. Take a few screenshots of you in action, and then put that into your application and make it look nice. Maybe to make sure all your history's there. If you're new to the game, tell them you're new to the game. Tell them, you know, dude, I only started in Cataclysm, but I picked it up really well. I followed some guides. These are my DPS stats, you know. In your UI screenshot, do not show a 5-man with you miles ahead of the DPS, okay? Those DPS meters can be changed in so many ways that a decent guild and anybody who's assessing your application is instantly going to pick up that you picked a screenshot with you at the top of the DPS. Don't do that. Believe me, it's an instant fall down, alright? Don't do that. Don't post a screenshot of your recount or your SCAD or whatever it might be with you way ahead of the DPS, because people are going to go, he's just picked a screenshot with his high DPS. And even that number might not be actually that good. So don't do that, ballers, okay? Take your time in your application. If that guild has a template, follow it to the letter. Do exactly what they ask you to. And try and think of a question to ask them in the end. Especially now 4.3's coming. 4.3's here. And we've got Mists of Pandaria coming. If they say, have you got any questions for us? Very important. It shows you're more interested and you're not just going, nope, no questions from me. Why not ask a simple question? Something along the lines of, yo, what are your plans for Mr. Pandaria? They might not know the answer, but it shows that you're willing to ask a question and not just to sit in the crowd and be another faceless person, okay? People want involved people in the guilds. Think about it. When your application finally goes up, you've ready, you've balled it up, you're happy with your application, you proofread it, you think, yeah, this application is the balls, it's going to be a big bro fist out to the people, then take your time and wait for replies. People can see you sat on the forums, remember that. Now, application forums are generally open to the public, so if you do want to follow it intensely, see if you get any quick replies and all that kind of stuff, log out the forum, okay? Log out the forum and then just follow the topic from an outsider perspective. That's absolutely fine. If the guild doesn't allow it, try and give yourself an hour to check it, okay? Don't be so eager that you sat in the forums all day, worrying, nervous. You're just going to be thinking about it more. Try and give yourself an hour break and then check the application again. Sometimes it can take 2 or 3 days for people to give you an answer, okay? And in a big guild, if you're applying to a serious rogue guild, it can take a week, 2 weeks. It doesn't matter, okay? This is all fine. This is all part of the taking time process and picking the right guild for you. Just follow it every hour or so, check in, see if anybody's said anything, and then this comes to the most important part, ballers! Don't rage in your application thread. Please, for the love of God, you will instantly be denied. I can't express to you how many people I have seen just reply like an absolute smart ass and just get denied straight away because you're not the type of person who can take criticism. Being in a guild, you need to be able to take criticism. I take criticism, I give criticism. It's important. It allows us to win, and the guild wants to win. The guild is not about being friends with everybody. Try and understand this, okay? The only reason you play together in a guild is because you have a common goal. Now, one common goal is to defeat raid bosses, okay? You are not going to be friends with everybody. Don't try to be. If someone picks up on something and says, yo, dude, your haste isn't quite right on this character for the current amount of settings, okay? Think about it. Check your resources before you reply. Don't reply instantly, oh, well, I thought it was right. Go and check. Look at some of the top. Let's say you're a hunter, okay? Marksman hunters need very specific amounts of haste for certain values, okay? Go and check the top hunters in the world. Check what websites have to say. Check guides like mine. What are they telling you about what haste you need? And is yours right or are they wrong? Think about it. And if they are wrong, it happens. If they are wrong, go back and reply and say, well, I did do my research. Here's a couple of links to what I've read. And according to that, I'm correct in what I'm doing. And then behind your PC, be like this. Yeah, boy. And then they can go, oh, sorry. Don't worry about it, okay? Just absolutely ball it up. That's all you need to be doing, is just be nice, polite in your replies, because it says a lot about your character, especially if someone criticises you. Don't rage, maybe even try and throw a joke in, but if you're not a funny person in general, because you're not a generally funny person, don't worry about making jokes. Be the person you are going to be in the guild. If you're very serious about your raiding, say, yeah, well, I actually did this boss, the haste was better for that boss, and that's why I'm spec'd that way. And if you genuinely don't have an answer and you did make a mistake, because we all make mistakes, ballers, just say that. I made a mistake on that, I've just changed it. You're right for pointing it out. I did check my character beforehand, I thought I'd done it correctly and I did miss out on that value. Okay, sorted. And then they'll go, cool, this guy can take some criticism and he's ready to fix it straight away. Sorted, absolutely sorted. Be polite, try and throw a joke in if you're generally funny, but if you're not funny, don't worry about it. Just be nice and precise in your answers and take your time before you reply. Don't do very snap replies. People who camp the forums tend to see a reply, read it, and type straight away. Don't do that. Think about what your reply is, unless it's like, yo, cool, thumbs up, on that's a really nice app. Reply, yeah, thanks, man. I put a lot of time into it. People appreciate you putting effort into joining them, because you're basically saying to them, pick me to come with you. Pick me to come along with you and be a part of your team. Now, if you come across wrong in that respect, you're going to suck, aren't you guys? Let's not do that. Next tip is if you get accepted, your trial process is very important, ballers, because you are not only being picked by that guild, eradicate that from your brains. You are not in that guild to be chosen by them only. That is part of it. That is 50% of it, if not less. The other part of it is you picking them. If you join the guild and it's absolutely not what you thought it was going to be, get the hell out of there, okay? You are not committed to any guild for anything. You don't owe them anything, okay? Join the guild. All you expect when you join a guild is to be treated fairly, be welcomed, and eventually get into some raids, okay? They might not book you straight away. They might not schedule you. However the guild runs their scheduling, they might not schedule you straight away. They might be working on a hard mode boss. They've got the team set up for it, okay? That doesn't involve you. That's fine. Sitting on the sidelines is part of raiding. No guild in the history of World of Warcraft has had, we have 7 melee spots, we will recruit 7 melee. Does not work like that. For 7 melee spots we will recruit 9 or 10 melee, because not everybody can raid all the time. It's impossible, okay? You always recruit more than what you actually need. So you might not get into the first raids, that's okay. What you don't want to do is go on the forum and say, yo man, you've recruited me and now you're not putting me in the first raid immediately to get all loot. What's going on? You're out of the door. Nobody likes that, okay? The guild masters, the class officers, all that good stuff do not want to be dealing with a trial who's got a big ego, okay? Take it down a notch. Just really relax into it. Get to know some people. Join some 5-mans. Join some PvP. You might not even like PvP, but get onto their voice communications. Just listen in. You don't have to talk. Go into some BGs for a couple of runs. Just get to know some people. What are their voices like? It's very important in a raid that you start to know who people's voices are, because when commands are barked out and you don't know who it is, let's say the guild master says, yo, you need to stand on me. You don't know who the guild master is, because he's unlikely to say, hi, I'm the guild master, my character is this, I'm an orc shaman or whatever. He's not likely to do that because he's busy running the raid. It's important for you to pick up. If you're not in the raid, for the first raid, join their voice communications anyway. Sit in the lobby and just watch which voices are piping up. Then check in the guild. Who is that person? Okay, I know this person, he's talking a lot. He's the raid leader. Cool, that's fine. Who is my who's my class leader? All that good stuff. Pick it up beforehand, you've got time. Don't start spamming guild chat with Megafox, Megafox, Megafox. Don't do that. What are you doing? No, I've seen people do that. Yo, I really like hot chicks. Have you seen this picture? Links, links, links. The guild is just going to go, who is this guy? Why have we recruited him? Don't do it, ballers. Take your time, just grow into it, get to know your facts before you start doing anything. Read the forums, what announcements have been made recently, how do they run their raids, do they expect you to know beforehand what you need to do, or are they going to talk you through it? Speak to your fellow classes, okay, who are similar to you. If you're a mage, talk to the other mages. If you're a warlock, talk to the warlocks, talk to the other casters. All the caster jobs are generally the same. They'll tell you about stuff. Some people won't. Some people don't like talking to trials. That's not offensive, because eventually they will talk to you when you're not a trial because you passed away. Booyah! My final tip when you join a raiding guild is, if you're accepted and you're happy, is just be relaxed. Your first raid is going to be crucial. It really is. Your first raid is going to be the absolute maximum point of winning the day. You need to be able to win the day with that, okay, ballers? You need to take your time. Don't panic about things like your DPS and your healing and your tanking. Worry about being alive. There's nothing worse than a trial who comes and dies on every single boss. You should know what the bosses are like. There's a YouTube guide for every boss out, especially bosses that only 2 or 3 people in the world have seen and killed. There's guides out there for them. There's a guide at the moment, I believe, for every heroic boss in the world that's been killed, let alone normal modes. So you can go and see what's going on there. You can have an idea of what's happening, okay guys? You should know beforehand. Ask before the boss pull, before the raid starts, is there anything special we need to do? Like, let's say you're a rogue or a mage. Yo, do I need to do anything special here in any of these boss fights? If someone says, yo, on this boss you actually have to interrupt, so you need to be ready for that. You need to have an interrupt macro ready. Do it before the raid starts, so you can just type in a name. All this easy stuff, okay? Get ready for your first raid and just worry about staying alive. Then worry about your DPS. Then worry about your healing, and then worry about your threat. Okay? Just make sure you're following the rules. Talk or mumble. If you're in an important role like a tank, you need to be actively communicating. Guilds hate quiet tanks. If you're tanking, you need to be saying, where do you like this boss to be tanked? Am I going to have to move the boss? Is there any specific things? Am I going to be misdirected? Am I going to have all this kind of stuff coming on, or do I need to pull it myself? Let me know before we start. Do you want it stood here? Do you want it stood there? Because a guild will be used to how to do it. If you killed that boss in your previous guild, there is no way that the other guild is definitely going to do it the same way. Okay, you need to find that out, alright, ballers? Those are my top tips for joining a raiding guild. I hope they'll help you guys, and I hope you can rock on to kill some big heroic deathling before the end of 4.3. Bro fist, people.